Mets win 2-1 over the Washington Nationals. And this is going to be a little bit of a shorter video here because of the fact that I really didn't watch much of this game, if I'm being completely honest. So let's just jump into it. Leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. Top of the first, Kodai Senga gets a 1-2-3 inning. In the bottom of the first, the Mets virtually go down in order, with the exception of McNeil getting hit by a pitch, because that's nothing new. Jeff McNeil has constantly been getting hit by pitches all season long. Top of the second, Senga gets another 1-2-3 inning, getting 3 groundouts from the Nats. Bottom of the second, Vogelback with a walk to lead things off. Stewart strikes out. Canna gets a single. And then Beatty grounds out. Narvaez walks, and Nimmo flies out. So the Mets waste bases loaded in second inning, because that's nothing new. Top of the third, Corey Dickerson gets a single. Luis Garcia strikes out. Alex Call gets a sacrifice bunt. CJ Abrams walks, and then Senga gets a huge strikeout to escape the jam. Bottom of the third, the Mets go down in order. In the top of the fourth, the Nats go down in order, sort of, because there was a wild pitch by Senga, and I guess that he swung in it, and then, of course, Alvarez couldn't field the ball, and he ended up being safe there. But regardless, bottom of the fourth, Vogelback pops out. DJ Stewart strikes out, Canna with a single, and then Josiah Gray throws an error trying to pick him off at first base. Brett Beatty then hits into a line out. We go to the top of the fifth. Dickerson grounds out. Garcia grounds out. Call walks, and then Call ends up getting caught stealing at second base as Narvaez guns him out. I don't know why I said Alvarez before when Narvaez started this game. I apologize. Again, I barely watched the game. Leave me alone. Bottom of the fifth, Narvaez flies out. Nimmo walks, and then Lindor strikes out, but it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play as Ruiz guns out Brandon Nimmo. We go to the top of the sixth. Abrams walks. Lane Thomas strikes out. Abrams ends up stealing second. Candelario gets on thanks to a catcher interference by Narvaez. Meneses hits a single, and then Ruiz hits a sacrifice fly to make it 1-0 for Washington. Dom Smith gets hit by a pitch, and then Corey Dickerson flies out. So Senga, you thought at that point, was going to get the Jacob deGrom treatment, which is something that he has been accustomed to himself, which is now becoming the Senga treatment at this point. So, yeah, that's what we expected, but didn't end up being the case. Bottom of the second, McNeil pops out. Alonso gets hit by a pitch because apparently the Mets just continue to get hit by pitches, and they love to. Vogelback lines out. Stewart pops out. We go to the top of the seventh, where David Peterson comes in the pitch, and another guy who's just a disaster out of the pen. But and oh boy, it's going to get ugly now that David Robertson's not here. Go watch the trade video if you haven't yet. Call gets a single. Abrams with a single, but then Thomas grounds to do a double play at the end of the inning. So thankfully they escape that. Jordan Weems comes in the pitch for the Nats, strikes out Canna. Beatty gets a double to center. Narvaez hits into a fly out, and then the Nats go make another pitching change as Nimmo lines out. We go to the top of the eighth. Candelario grounds out. Meneses grounds out. Ruiz hits into a single. David Peterson throws a wild pitch. Dominic Smith grounds out to get out of the inning. So David Peterson didn't look the best, but he also didn't look the worst. He got out a couple jams. And then we go to the bottom of the eighth, where Lindor flies out. McNeil gets a single. Alonso gets a single. And then Vogelback with a huge RBI single to tie the game up at 1. Danny Mendick comes in the pitch run for Daniel Vogelback. And then Thompson throws a wild pitch, so that advances the runner. Stewart gets hit by a pitch. And then we go to a rain delay, and it took forever, and apparently the Mets worked on a trade. That's how long it took. And Kyle Finnegan comes in the pitch. Moricana gets a sacrifice fly to bring in Pete Alonso. That makes it a 2-1 game. Brett Beatty grounds out. We go to the top of the ninth, where Brooks Raley comes in the close, because I guess that's what it's going to be. It's going to be him or Ottavino, assuming those two aren't even traded by Tuesday. So we'll have to wait and see. And he gets Garrett to ground out. Vargas to fly out, walks Alex Call, but then Abrams strikes out. That is your ball game. 5 hits for the Nats, 6 for the Mets, 1 error on each side. Again, the Mets are not really impressive, and I'm glad that I didn't even watch most of this game because it was clearly boring, and this team is just not worth watching right now, considering how brutal they are. They're barely beating the Nationals. I don't know what to tell you. Nimmo and Lindor going 0-4. Embarrassing. Nimmo's batting average has dropped significantly down to a 258, and the OPS too has even dropped. Lindor's just not been good enough. McNeil and Alonso each getting hits is good. Same with Vogelback. Stewart, though, goes 0-3 with 2 strikeouts. Canna and Beatty look good. Canna boosting that trade value, which we like. And Narvaez going 0-2. Another guy who might be traded, who's not boosting his trade value, but again, 1-for-7 runners in scoring position, just not good enough. Leaving 9 runners stranded, not good enough. Senga was okay. Wasn't spectacular like we've seen in recent starts. Still good though. Only had 2 hits, only had 3 walks, only had 1 run, but only 5 strikeouts. Usually he's getting more strikeouts than that. So that's why I say he pitched okay. And I thought usually he could get 7 out of Senga. So a little bit of a down game, but even in a down game, like, come on, Senga has been absolutely unreal. David Peterson, meh, out of the bullpen. Brooks Raley, good out of the bullpen. Which, again, another guy boosts some trade value potentially. But short recap, I don't have much else to say at this game. I don't really have thoughts. I didn't watch it. That's going to be it for me. See you in the next one.